What it is, guys, it's your Dino. We're back here again with another review, so let's just get straight into it. Review is for Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart is a game on Game Pass, and we'll get straight into the accessibility. There isn't any. It is not in any way, a shape or form of saying that the game is lacking, but it doesn't have any. It's got motion blur, and that's about it. It has no cryptonopia, color blindness. It doesn't have any remapping tools or anything like that. Is completely dependent upon you and the tools you already have available to you. It is what it is. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. I've got like I've got a little bit of a cold, but it's just that, as you can see, it's lacking in my opinion. It's got a streamer mode and that's it. But we'll get into the gameplay though. The gameplay is good. It's got a lot to offer. I feel like the game is trying to be too many things at once though. I'll get into that in more detail in the final thoughts, but it's definitely a game that has some flaws, but it's a good game overall. It's definitely one that will challenge you. I played through it all on stream. There'll be a link to that in the little links up on the top, and I'll probably put a link to it down below. They've done a really good job with the character system, the fact that you can remap the skills, you can do a lot. There is a lot of open world stuff in the game. I spent probably 3, maybe 4 streams playing it. It's definitely a game that if you rush through, you could probably have it done in a couple of hours. It is not something that you would want to do though, because you'll be vastly underpowered. That being said, they've done a very good job with the difficulty scaling. The best way to describe it would be it's a hybridization of Darksouls meets Bioshock, set in a Russian alternate timeline where Russia is superpower and won the wars and stuff like that. But it's a very good game, and I feel like it's very unique in the way that they've designed it. Again, thank you for Dino smashing the like button. It's greatly appreciated as well. And we'll get into the part that most people enjoy, the customization features. The customization features on this game are specifically tied to your weapons. There isn't any customization features in regards to the character you play, Agent P3. Not going to tell you anything about him too much, but there is a lot of different things that you can do to all the different weapons. You have things like Fat Boy, which is, in my opinion, a rip-off of the name for the Fat Boy launcher from Fallout. But it's a very unique weapon. It feels very underpowered when you first get it, but if you go through and do all the different polygons that are available on the map, these like special puzzle-based areas that you have to find the entrance to using the things in the world to get into, and then you have to solve the puzzles to find the little boxes in those puzzles. I know it sounds very meta, but that's just how it is. Okay, it's a good game. They've done a very good job of it. I feel like they've got a nice aesthetic, and the customization is focused solely on the weapons and the character abilities. That's not a bad thing. Now we'll get into what I feel is always a good one to do, player recommendations. Now, this game is not for the faint of heart. It is not for people who were expecting a fast action Bioshocky game set in a Russian timeline, and it's definitely one that will put you through your paces. There are some fights in it that seem kind of overwhelming when you first get into them. Very early on in the game, it does feel kind of one-sided, but once you start to learn how to fight certain creatures and how to power up yourself accordingly, because you can remap everything, you can trial and error and remap yourself and get in there, and you can actually fight them and overwhelm them. Very well done. I do feel like this game would appeal to anyone who is a Dark Souls fan, anyone who is a Bioshock fan that likes a challenge, and people who like first-person shooter action adventure RPG games. It's definitely one that I feel had a lot to offer, And whilst it was a very fun game, when I completed it, I was a little bit underwhelmed, and I'll get into that more in the final thoughts. I don't want to give any spoilers, obviously, because I won't tell you how it ends, but it's just one of those. I feel like I personally, as a gamer and as a content creator, felt like it was lacking for me, but it's a good game, and I feel like it's definitely one that I would recommend to anyone who has Game Pass. Give it a go, have a go on it. Play it on the easiest difficulty if you want to just give it a go and enjoy it. I played it through on medium, and it was very difficult. Playing it on hard is absolutely insane. It is very tough. But as always, we will get into the last part of the review, which is my final thoughts. My final thoughts for this game are that it is a very, very good game. A very unique take on the Bioshock inspired stuff, and they've done a very good job with creating a game that will push you to your limit and will make you think twice about how you approach things. I wanted to show off one of the boss fights in the game because there's so much going on when you do these things. They're absolutely crazy. So enjoy the chaos of the boss fight whilst I talk about the final thoughts. It's a good game. It has a lot of potential. The ending left me a bit unsatisfied with the way that the story ends. I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't satisfied, if that makes sense, you know. I liked what I played. I enjoyed what I played. It is definitely a challenging game on pretty much any difficulty if you're not prepared for what you're going to play, but it is a very, very good game. I did enjoy it. There were some issues with the way that it played, and I did find a couple of bugs. I did break the game a couple of times. I did fall through the floor several times. That was definitely a fun one. Literally fell through the floor and was going through the floor for about 30 minutes, and then the game was like, yeah, you're too far out of the boundary, we have to kill you now, and the Guardians killed me and I was reset. But it was a fun game. I definitely enjoyed the battles. I did feel like sometimes I was a bit overwhelmed with the amount of enemies and how hard they are to fight, especially on the harder difficulties. They take a lot of work, but it's a good game. They've done a very good job of it. I definitely think that it is one that will surprise a lot of people when they play it. I think that it's got a lot of potential, and I would love to see an Atomic Heart 2. Personally, I think that it would be a great entry into a second story. And overall, thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying the video. Let me know if you've played it or if you intend to play it, if you disagree with the review or if you agree with me. As always, like, comment and share. It's greatly appreciated. And check out the playlist for the game or the review of one of my other videos. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.